Hello, I'm Levon Holman, and the topic of the day basically is that for my seminar coming up August the 18th, entitled Now It's Time to See If You're Mr. or Mrs. Right. And the biggest issue today that most people are going through is trying to find somebody that's right for them. Well, I want to flip that, and that search basically will just begin with yourself. And in saying that, yourself, you have to do some research, some reflecting. And one of the biggest things that I see in relationship problems today is the cycle of bad habits that just came down from generation to generation. And then the other is the game. Are you in it or are you not? And do you even know when you are been placed in the game in the search for a relationship, Mr. or Mrs. Right? Well, we can get all that settled through this seminar. We can get it all settled through understanding that the search must start with you first. We can get it settled by just a few thoughts where you can actually ask yourself, and that is, how many friendships, relationships, marriages have been ended by just one thing, and that is the negative conversations that you carry outside of your relationship to other people. And most people do it when they're venting. They're venting, they're angry, and they are upset with someone, and they feel like they need someone to talk to. The only problem with that is how many people they talk to. And the number one issue is they forget how many people they talk to. Most people, when they're hurting, they just want to vent and they want an ear to listen. They don't care how many ears, and they don't care how serious their conversation can travel, or how fast and how far. Most of the time, people find out how far it went when they are over it, and someone that they don't even know has information about their relationship. The same topic that they shared, and they told somebody not to tell them. Well, the whole issue is the negative energy that was being put out there. It came back to them. It came back within their relationship, because there's no way to be talking about anybody that you are with, whether it be in a friendship, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a business partnership, or any type of relating between two people. There's no way that can stay positive when you are having meetings. I call them meetings. Most people call them gossip sessions or rumor sessions, but I call them meetings because you do have to set it up. You have to call somebody. You have to go and talk to them. You have to set it up over the phone, and then you release into the atmosphere, the universe, or whatever. You release it to this person, and two things happen. They receive it, and then they decide what they're going to do about it, interpretation and in thought. And then it continues to get spread. Well, coming back to the person that did the talking, when you put that out, the law of attraction says it comes back to you on whatever you focused on. Now, you could have 80% positive relationships with this person, but this 20% began to be a focus in 100% level, and that energy has returned. Now, you don't know why you are feeling so strong against this person now. It wasn't at the level that you started the conversation with. Now it's on a whole nother level, especially if you went to bed with it. When you went to sleep, you woke up on a whole nother level of dislike. And if you had other people to join in on the conversation about the same person or what they thought of, then it is now doubled. So when you do get back in the presence of that person and you have no idea how strongly it is, then little things start coming up. The energy is negative now between you and them, and they have no idea why it's coming up, but you do, because you did not do one simple thing. You did not go to them first and talk to them and them alone. Now that's a actual proverb or an actual action that is asked of people within the Bible, but it basically states that when you have an art or disagreement with someone or a problem with somebody, it says go to them and them alone first. Now most people go to whoever they want to first, and then after so many conversations and so much advice and so much, whether it be negative or positive advice, then they start this trail back to the person. But their intent or their thought is it should go well, because now they're going to talk to that person. However, it can't go well because you did it out of order. And you did it unaware that you were actually building up so much discord between you and this person, and the person really didn't know it. They just started feeling something is not right with this person and me anymore, and I would like to know why. Or they start retaliating in the same way. And that is one of the most simplest ways of looking at certain relationship problems. And this is a topic that I will be discussing in the seminar, but I also will be discussing so many other important issues. But I really want to hone in on the men. And the women, I hope that you will invite them. I hope that you would talk to them, and I hope that they will get a chance to come out, because we need some one-on-one with them. And for the women, you do understand that the biggest thing that y'all have as a double standard is the emotional usage, or the use of emotional issues. And I believe the cycle of this is one of the bad habits. And it's not your fault. It's been passed down from generation to generation, whether you heard it directly taught or indirectly taught, that you are an emotional creature and this should be excused no matter what that action is. But there's no way it can be excused when the action was wrong and you thought it was okay for it to continue because you are an emotional creature. Well, all that means is if you say the man should understand, or whoever should understand, because you are a woman and you're an emotional creature, and your 3-year-old is hearing that for all the way up until she's 16 and she starts her first relationship, then there you go, the cycle. The cycles began in her at 3 years old. It began grabbing root, and so her thought at 16 is this boy or this man should understand that I get out of this situation. I don't have to change this situation because I'm an emotional creature, or I am a woman and these are my emotions. Well, if that is working for you, then continue. But if it's not, then let me help you. Let me help you in other areas as well. And This seminar will just be the beginning, and I want everyone to know that it does come, or you can email me if you can't come, your questions, and I will get to them, and I will email you back on what the next seminar would be. And everybody that does attend will get a free book from me, one of my first books, Freedom to Live Authentically. And basically that is a book that will help you pinpoint what you have been copying from somebody else in your life, whoever was influential. And one of the biggest things that we copy in our lives is pet peeves. And the definition of a pet peeve, most people think it's just something you don't like. But what it is, the definition is a small annoyance causing extreme frustration. And one of the issues within pet peeves that you are not aware of is that it's just strictly something that you're copying. It's not your own. Somebody else had it before you, transferred it to you, and now you're living it out. These are just topics that I want to cover right now to let you see what type of teaching that I do and how thought-provoking it is, and to help you to see if you are Mr. or Mrs. Right. Come out. Looking forward to seeing you there.